Well, there is speculation then about his future at Chelsea, and talkSPORT understands that Liverpool are increasingly confident that they can prize him away from London. He is out of contract at the end of next season. Negotiations of a new deal at Stamford Bridge are at a standstill, with the 24-year-old seeking parity, suggestions say, with Chelsea's top earners. So, Cass, as a former Chelsea player, what do you make of all of this? Big loss if they were to lose Mason Mount?
Yeah, because he was such a regular for them, and he had a really good season last year. And he, there's nothing better for fans than one of your local lads who've been through the system, come through, do really well. But if you look at what's happened to him of late, he's either started games and got subbed or coming on as a sub. And that's been really where he's been for quite a while now. And he's lost his way slightly, Mason Mount. And look, don't get me wrong, this happened to a lot of players now. Your form can sometimes dip, and, he had a really lot of good performances in, certainly last year, but it's been a really tough year for Mason Mount. But he'll be wanted. Maybe the biggest issue is, does he feel that wanted at Chelsea now? Because of all the new signings, a new direction at the football club. And like I said, when you're in and out of a team, you're not so eager to put pen to paper when you're thinking, well, I want to be a regular in this side and I want to start all weeks, and I don't want to see my number going up every other week when I am playing, being dragged off. Now, you can have indifferent performances, which he's had. He's just not at the level of what he was last season.
I'm looking on the website Transfermarkt. Now, I obviously don't watch Chelsea week in, week out, so Chelsea fans might put me right on this. But just looking at his stats from this season, he's playing in a number of different positions, whether it's left-sided, more of attacking, more central, for example. I mean, does that help a player when you're sort of all over the place and you're in that team that is inconsistent, that is chop and changing, as we're finding with Graham Potter? I mean, surely that has to play a part in the fact that he's not living up to what we're expecting from him.
Well, he's not really quick enough to be an out-and-out winger. I never feel that's Mason's best position. I always feel he needs to be sort of behind forwards. He's got a great eye for a goal. He hasn't done that as much this year as he did last year. And that's one of his biggest assets, is that he gets into spaces and finds a little bit of time and is a good finisher. It is a little bit of a nailing yourself down to one position, Nat, where you go, well, that's where I want to play. That's where I play my best football. He hasn't really found that, especially under Graham Potter this season. Look, there's been so many changes at Chelsea. And Chelsea's, obviously, their budget and their recruitment has been so excessive that there's going to be scapegoats, people who are being left out. And I think Mason probably feels he is one of them at the moment.
And it feels as though with the amount of money that Chelsea have spent this season, not sure it's going to stop either, that they're going to have to at some stage sell some players, and maybe Mason Mount is going to be one of those casualties. So is it in a way time for him to move on, and can you see Liverpool as the right destination for him?
Well, he'll have interest from clubs without a doubt. He's played a very high level of football for a number of years. It's not as good at the moment, but that won't stop interest. Comes down to Mason. If he really wants to just stay at Chelsea and sit on money and find himself in and out of a team, because that's where he is at the moment, does that still sit well with him? Probably not. He want to be in England frame, and he's not going to be an England regular if he's going to be sitting out the Chelsea team too often. That.
Okay, you just didn't really answer my question.
Sorry,
Tony Cascarino, the Liverpool fan, is Liverpool the right destination for him?
I'm not quite sure where he's going to play at Liverpool. If you said to me, well, is he going to play like on a top of a three and just behind the centre forward, whether that's Núñez next season? He's not going to play on the right because it will be Salah, as long as he stays at the club. Diaz will come back, so he's not really on the left. So it's a central attacking midfielder. Now, Liverpool did have Oxlade. Yeah, a central attacking midfielder. They did have Oxlade-Chamberlain sort of to fill that role, and that's not really happened because obviously he's going to depart Liverpool. So Liverpool will be filling that void that obviously the Ox didn't really achieve. I mean, look, he had bad injuries. I was going to say, I feel sorry for him because he did have a number of really serious big injuries his time at Liverpool. But that's the only way I see him. Right,
so he could do that.
He can do that. Yeah, I said to him, his best asset is scoring goals and getting in the 18-yard box. And he's also, and I saw this, we've been in the World Cup for watching England, and at Qatar, sitting and staying. His work rate is unbelievable. And that's where I think the attraction comes with Liverpool, because they've lost that work rate in their team. This is what I was going to
say. This has been your long-standing issue with Liverpool this season, is their midfield is not up to it. And it certainly has faded of late this season. So surely someone as young and exciting, potentially, as Mason Mount, that's only a big plus point for Liverpool.
Well, he ticks the boxes of he can definitely get goals, and I think his numbers can improve. It's more similar to last season, which he hasn't achieved at Chelsea this year. Definitely do that. His work rate is infectious around the team, so that's another big plus, because Liverpool they've lost their tempo, Liverpool, and they need to inject that again. So that's another good thing for Liverpool. Yeah. So yes, I could see it as a signing, but only in that position, as being the top of a three, really.
Just very quickly then, because we're hitting the break. Are you telling Jurgen Klopp now, bring him in, play in that role that you're saying he should play in, just behind Nunez, and that's
I think he'd do really well.
One tick in the box for improving that midfield.
I still think it'll be
I don't feel you're doing the come and get me.
No, because I'll tell you why.
Mount.
Because Mason Mount will have more than Liverpool chasing him. There'll be a number of clubs who will be very interested in taking him, Europe and in this country.
Where else, though, in this country?
Well, if you were Newcastle, would you want to get a player like him?
Okay. I'm just checking where you're going with this
where would I think of a player? If you want to get higher and get bigger and become more of a Champions League team, I think Mason Mount would fit really well into the way Newcastle play.
Okay, all right. Decisions to be made. I think it's relatives that are now dealing with him.
They could have, at the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if I definitely think they could get Wilf on the left, Newcastle. And I think they could get Mason Mount if they really wanted to get him in competition with Liverpool.
It's